Ever had someone give a long, rambling lead in to asking you a question? Or have you even done that yourself? Well, don't do it, says Michael Bungay Stanier in his book, The Coaching Habit. Welcome to the Bite Size Sales Podcast, where we believe that sales is the most important team in a B2B company, that the sales team deserves great sales skills training but usually doesn't get it, and that taking bite-sized steps each day to get better at your craft is the best way to improve results. I am your host, Andrew Monahan, and I'm using my experiences in B2B sales to bring you simple, actionable ideas every day to help you get better. So welcome to episode 44 of the podcast. Now, I'm going to just go straight into the book first here because I love how the author tees up this section. So let me read straight from The Coaching Habit by Michael Bungay Stanier. There's an internet meme about the best opening scene in a James Bond movie. For some people, it's Roger Moore skiing off a cliff and then parachuting away with a Union Jack emblazoned parachute, naturally, in The Spy Who Loved Me. For others, it's the more gritty black and white moment in Casino Royale when Daniel Craig gets into his 00 accreditation by notching up his second kill. My favorite, when Pierce Brosnan bungee jumps off a massive dam in GoldenEye. In any case, you'll notice a pattern here. No James Bond movie ever starts off slowly. Within 10 seconds, you're into the action. The adrenaline has jacked and the heart is beating faster. That's a stark contrast to the way many of us ask a question, which often has a slow, rambling, meandering introduction that feels more like the 1001 Nights of a Shevardnadze than anything Ian Fleming dreamt up. Cut the preliminary flim-flam. You don't need a runway to pick up speed. You can just take off. If you know what question to ask, get to the point and ask it. And if you must have a lead-in phrase, try out of curiosity, it lessens the heaviness of any question and makes it easier to ask and answer. So that's read straight from the book, The Coaching Habit by Michael Bungay Stanier. Now, I hate it when other people do this to me. When you're sitting there going, I know a question is coming, but it's not coming anytime soon. And if I'm honest, I actually catch myself doing it sometimes, and I hate when I do it. It annoys me, and it kind of frustrates me that I default or sometimes go to that. And sometimes, it's maybe a symptom of lack of confidence, or you're not quite sure if you should be asking the question. You feel uncomfortable, and you kind of think you're going to soften it by doing this long, explanation about why you need to ask the question. If I think through the best interviewers on TV, and encourage you to do this as well, watch how long their questions are. They're really not long at all, right? And certainly in comparison to the business world, they're not long. They ask the minimum amount needed to get the question asked, and then they hand over basically, to the point of the question, which is to get the other person talking. And we have the same goal as salespeople. We want the other person talking. So the more time that we take up leading into these questions, the more time and oxygen that we take away from the person who we really want to hear what they have to say. And a reporter or an interviewer recognizes that the time is probably the most important thing and they need to get to the point. So very quickly, action from this thought is, do you find yourself doing this? Now, be honest with yourself, right? Most of us take a little bit too long to ask questions. So if you find yourself doing it, challenge yourself to get to the point more often and more quickly. See what you can do to shorten your questions, even to the point where you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, even being so blunt in your mind when you're asking these questions. And to the author's point, to Michael Bungay Stanier's point, if you do have to have some sort of lead in, at least go with something like out of curiosity, or I'm interested to know, or I'd value your opinion, something like that. It's just a very, very short lead in, because if it makes you feel better doing it like that, and then getting to the point of the question. So that's the challenge for this week. If you like this episode, please share it wide and far. Spread the word. I get energy from seeing people download and use this content, so please just take 20 seconds to share it with anyone you think would like it too. This episode is sponsored by Unstoppable.do. Most sales teams are not trained effectively in the skills and mindset they deserve, and these are the most important people in the company. It's no wonder that only about 50% of reps make quota every year. Unstoppable is a service that helps sellers and leaders get great at the skills and mindset they need without taking time out of the field. It exists because if the sales team has the right skills and mindset, they thrive, they are confident, and they perform much better. Find out more and even get a free sales book at bitesizesales.com. And now to wrap up. As Todd Olson, VP of Sales at Zavaro, may or may not have once said, training without implementation is just entertainment, and pretty poor entertainment when Monahan does it. So make sure you take action on what you learn and keep getting better every day. This world does not need more sales BS, so don't create any more. Be great at the fundamentals, be honest, be real, be yourself, just do not BS. And finally, I'm signing off as the great Joe Sexton would by saying, gone to sell.